Hi guys, welcome back. It's the Forensic Junkie here, and today we're going to be doing something really interesting. We're going to be carrying out an investigation together, and this investigation is one of corporate data exfiltration. I'm on the site Digital Corpora, and this will be getting the data sets for investigation. Is the 2009 M57-Jean case, and this scenario is a single disk image scenario involving the exfiltration of corporate documents from the laptop of a senior executive. The scenario involves a small startup company, M57Bs. A few weeks into inception, a confidential spreadsheet that contains the names and salaries of the company's key employees was found posted to the comment section of one of the firm's competitors. The spreadsheet also existed on one of M57's officers, Jean. Jean says that she has no idea how the data left her laptop and that she must have been hacked. You have been given this image of Jean's laptop. Your job is to figure out how the data was stolen or if Jean isn't as innocent as she claims. So here are the materials for our investigation. This is the forensic image of Jean's hard drive, and they are divided into two chunks. I believe should be 1.5, this should be 1.4 something gig. So please make sure you download both of them. No, you're not downloading either of the two, you're downloading both of them. So here is also the exercise slides that contains the facts of the case, the interviews between both Jane and the president of the organization, Allison, and you can download the PowerPoint slide, or you can download the PDF, or if you are using an Apple device, you can download this instead. So without wasting much time, let's get into it. Now, please, if you are still here on this channel or you are new here, please do like and subscribe. It doesn't take you so much to like. Please subscribe, and you can leave your comments in the comment section if you have any. So first of all, we're going to be adding the evidence item. I have already downloaded the images, and so I don't need to download them again. I created a folder called the M57-Jean. So this is my case folder, and I'm going to be opening the data set. Now, I'm just clicking on one. I can't click on both of them, but don't worry. STK Imager is going to pass both images into the SDK environment and to work on them. So it doesn't matter if you can't click both of them, just click the first one and it's going to do the rest. Now, I just want us to take time to look at the slide. This is the company M57.Bs, and it tells us that the facts of the case, there was $3 million in seed funding. Now they're at a closing round of $10 million. The business has two founders and there are 10 employees that were employed in the first year. The current staff include the president, by name Alison Smith, then the chief financial officer, that's the main suspect of this case, Jean, the programmers, Bob, Carol, David, and Emmy, and then those in marketing, Jean and Harris, and the guy in business development, Indy. So we see the spreadsheet. This is the spreadsheet that was shared containing the name of all the employees, their positions at the company, and confidential information, including their salary and their social security number. And here's the interview we had with Allison and Jean. So Jean is saying that Allison asked her to prepare the spreadsheet as part of a new funding round. And she said that Allison asked her to send the spreadsheet to her by email. and that's all she knows. But Alison denies all of this. She says she never asked Jane for the spreadsheet and she never received the spreadsheet by email. These are their electronic identities. And now, one of the first round founders wants to know, when did Jane create this spreadsheet? How did it get from her computer to the competitor's website? Who else from the company is involved? This is our assignment as the investigator on this case. So it's saying that you have been given a copy of Jane's computer hard drive, which we've downloaded, a copy of the spreadsheet, and then encase. Now, I don't have the encase software. Not that I don't have it, but it's a proprietary software, so I can't use it. But if you want to gift it to me, I mean, I'm willing to accept it. So for now, we're going to be using FTK because FTK is free, and so everyone can follow through. And right now, we're going to be opening FTK Imager to look through Jane's hard drive. So here's the hard drive. Now they told us that they've given us the copy of the spreadsheet that was shared with an house with with the outsider, and we're going to be looking into the user Jane. Most likely it's on a desktop. Voila, here it is. So what we're going to do is to export this file. Now I told you I created a case folder. You should do so too. That case folder, I created another folder called recovered. So every item I export is going to enter this folder. So you're going to click OK. I have already exported it before, so I don't need to click OK again. Now, remember the facts of the case. Jean said that Alison told her to deliver the spreadsheet to her by email. So what we're looking for, we are thinking email correspondence. It has to be on this drive. Most likely, there is an email correspondence. There's a local email service that was used. When I say local email, I mean an email service that runs on the desktop. I'm talking about an email service that runs on the desktop, unlike the web email services we have, like Yahoo Mail and Proton Mail and Gmail. This local email service saves all the email information on the hard drive locally. So in this case, you may be thinking of something like Mozilla Thunderbird or Microsoft Outlook or Apple Mail, but it's most likely not Apple Mail. So we have to look for that. I'm seeing Microsoft, so I guess it should be Microsoft Outlook. We're looking for a PST file. That is the that is the extension that Microsoft Outlook uses. So see that it is not here. Voila. So here it is. We're going to export this file. We're going to be exporting it to the M57 case folder and into the recovered folder and click OK. So now we've recovered the PST file. Now, in order to read a PST file, because this contains the contact, it contains the calendar, it contains the email information, everything contained in the inbox, deleted mails, and everything. So in order to read this, we need a PST viewer. For that, we're going to be using the kernel Outlook PST viewer. Now, I'm going to be putting in the link in the description box below, but I want you guys to download this. This is what we're going to be using. the free version. We don't need the paid version. So here it is. You can view and read healthy as well as corrupted PST files, read multiple PST files and all of that. But we just need to view the PST files. We need to see the correspondences between Jane and maybe Allison or other employees within the organization, or maybe even an outsider. And to do that, you need to download this PST file. But I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to download it again. Instead, I'm just going to open it on my desktop. So here we go, outlook.pst. Here it is. Now we are seeing the calendar, which is empty. We are seeing the contacts, deleted items. It shows all the deleted mails. We're seeing the draft. We're seeing the inbox. And I think this is going to be of use to us. So what we're looking for is correspondences between Allison and Jane that pertains to this case, or maybe any suspicious email between Jane and some employee in the organization or an outsider. Now, I want to pause to talk about something important. As a forensic investigator, and if you want to be an excellent one, you have to make sure that you approach each case with as much objectivity as possible. So we're not going into this case thinking that Jane is guilty. No, we have her as the main suspect, but it doesn't mean she's guilty. Now, even if I've conducted a case that is similar to this in the past and the employee was guilty, I shouldn't walk into this case with the same mindset, thinking that the employer is still going to be guilty again, because what it means is that it undermines my professionalism as a forensic investigator. It already means that I am making responses about this case without facts to back it up. And we say that forensics doesn't lie, the facts don't lie. So we want to look at the facts before we can give any judgment. And from looking at this, this was a mail between Jean and Allison, and apparently it's a mailing list from CNN.com. This is what I was talking about today. This is the body of the mail. And apparently it has a link that if Allison clicks, should redirect her to CNN. This was on the 6th of July 2020, 2008. Now, you see these red icons, these red arrows rather, that are popping out of the envelope to the left. What this means is that the email was replied. Now, if you look, again, you see another arrow popping to the right out of the envelope. It means that the email was forwarded. So here's another email between Alison and Jean. This is a very important view to us because it helps us to analyze the emails, get to see the email headers. So the subject of the mail is business plan. What is the content? So here's the content of the mail. Alison was asking Jean be to speed up on the creation of a business plan that she asked her to do. And this was on the 6th of July 2008 at 8:25 p.m. Date and time matters in forensics, so we have to keep on checking. Now, this doesn't give us any reason to be suspicious, but this is another important information in forensics. Now, we are delving into email forensics, and I know I haven't done a video speaking about that, so please bear with me. But it's very, very easy. When we talk about email forensics, we're talking about the integrity of an email. We want to know whether the email actually comes from whom it claims to come from. So an email normally has a sender and a receiver. Someone sends the email, another person on the other end receives it. But cyber criminals have become so intelligent that they are able to spoof the email address of a sender and make it look like make it look like the sender actually sent that email to the receiver in order to exploit the receiver or gain unauthorized access into a system. So this is very, very important that we look through every email that comes. And when we are analyzing an email, the part of the email that is of importance to us is this part, the email header. And as you can see, we have the return path. I'm going to explain what these headers mean in the little way that I can. But in another video, I'm going to give a full rundown of most of the headers involved in email analysis, what they mean, and how you can be able to analyze an email to know if it is true or not. And we see the return path, we see the X tag. Microsoft Outlook is give a lot of tags to emails in order to verify the integrity. So we are seeing different tags. We are seeing X priority, we are seeing X MS mail. So here, the return path tells us Allison at M57.biz. This is the date. Now we have the email sender address, who the email is from, and it says it's from Allison going to Jean. Now, I want you to know something very important. The return path and the sender address oftentimes tally. When we're talking about a personal email, most times the return path and the sender address do tally. Maybe except in cases whereby it's an email service like a mailing list or some email server sending the mails. It may not tally. But most times during our analysis, when we are looking through and we see that there is a discrepancy between the return path and the sender address, it gives us room to suspect. Now, it doesn't tell us that the email is fake. It just gives us room to be suspicious and makes us alert. So when we see that the email, the the return path and the sender address are not the same, we start looking through other headers to see if they tally or not. And if they don't tally, then it tells us that something is wrong. It's most likely a spoofed email. But here it tallies, so which means Allison actually sent this email. As we can see from the body of the email, there's nothing suspicious there. Uh, we come down. This is what I was talking about. So Allison was trying to tell Jim, please do not send me links like this. I have no way of knowing if they are from you or some hacker. It was already an original message, and this was the original message that made Allison to reply to Jane. Now, these mail envelopes are closed, which means Jean didn't open these emails. So we keep looking further, till we find something. Okay, this looks good. Financial plans. This draws interest. So let's look at it through the advanced properties view. This is the body of the email. Hi Jean, have you started putting together the financial projection yet? Okay, this looks good. There's nothing to worry about. This was on the 20th of July 2008. Background checks. Let's look at this email. Let's analyze it. Background checks. Let's see what the body says. Jane, one of the potential investors that I've been dealing with has asked me to get a background check of our current employees. Apparently, they recently had some problems at some other company they funded. Could you please put together for me a spreadsheet specifying each of our employees, their current salary, and their SSN? And this is confidential information that Alison is asking for here. Please do not mention this to anybody. Now, this looks sketchy. Thanks. Plus, because of the sensitive nature of this, please do not include the text of this email in your message to me. Thanks. Hmm. Now, let's look at the headers. Let's evaluate them. We are seeing that the sent representing name is Alison. Oh, I want us to be able to see it better. To see right. This is what I want us to look at. Now we see the dates. I don't want us to use this dates because this dates, although it's correct, is not the time zones can be so confusing because as the mail is passing through various servers, various mail transfer agents, which can be scattered across various time zones. The time zones keep changing, although they are the same. If you convert it to UTC, you find out that they tally when the mail arrives with this time over here. So the dates really is not really a challenge, but I'm looking at the return path and I'm seeing something different. This mail is supposed to be from Allison going to Jean. But then we look at the from address, which is the sender address here. Can you see it? The from address that says Allison at M57.biz. And we see the return path, simsong at xy.dreamhostps.com. It's not the same. So this tells us that something is wrong. And let's keep checking. Let's keep checking. Please send the information now. Good. We are seeing another email address, talkgeorge@gmail.com, placed in between tags next to Allison at M57.biz. This already tells us something. Let's look at the body of the mail. The body of the mail is what we're looking for. Please send me the information now. Okay, that's the body. All right. Jean, thanks for the file. I'll handle it from here. Which means Jean already sent him a file. Jean has sent, if we look at the outbox, Jean sent something. So she replied to his email and she sent the attachment m57bs.xls. This is the spreadsheet document that was exfiltrated. So what does this tell us? It tells us that Allison's email has been spoofed by an attacker, probably because she clicked on a phishing link unknowingly. And this attacker has gained access to her email address and is able to impersonate Allison to send mails to Jean. And Jean isn't able to spot that this isn't Allison. Now, if you go through this, you find out that one of the programmers, Bob, already found out that something was wrong because he saw the social security number on the internet, and he's asking Jean questions, and Jean is very much confused. Also, Allison gets wind that something is wrong, even though she's not sure what it is yet. So it's time to answer the questions. The questions, I have already answered them. The first question says, when did Jean create this spreadsheet? Now, to know when the spreadsheet was created, we have to look at the metadata of the spreadsheet. This is the spreadsheet that was exfiltrated, and we have to look at the info. This is the metadata. Now, metadata can be manipulated, but I don't think this is the case. And because it doesn't look like it was manipulated, and the time seems to tally, it tells us that the metadata was created on the 12th of July 2008. And this was long before the data exfiltration happened. This looks so far away, but it tells me that probably this template was already created, and maybe when the attacker messaged Jane, she started to edit it, and that's why it shows that it was last modified by Jane on the 20th of July 2008 at 2:28 a.m. as we can see here. So to answer that question, based off analysis of Jean's drive and email correspondences, I've been able to provide the following answers to the above question. The M57-XLS contains internal Microsoft Excel metadata indicating that it was first created on June 12, 2008 at 6:13 p.m. Now, the second question asks us, how did it get from her computer to the competitor's website? And the answer for that is the spreadsheet was sent by Jean to an attacker who had spoofed Alison Smith's email address, pretending to be Alison, and posted the spreadsheet on the competitor's website. The third question asks us, who else from the company is involved? Now, based off our analysis, based off our investigation, there was no one else involved in the leak. This question suggests that there's another internal saboteur. But from my investigation, this looks like a case of social engineering, email spoofing, and phishing attack. So it tells us that no insider was involved in this. This was a case of social engineering. In this case, Jane was a victim of social engineering. Alison was a victim of email spoofing and phishing attacks. If you're reading with me till the end of this video, glad you made it. This brings us to the end of the investigation. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to subscribe. I will see you some other time. Bye.